Recording. Okay. You've probably all seen the articles. There was a legal notice that ran on Saturday that the PBGC published.
Yeah.
And then based on that, I received what's called a notice of determination on Monday. I released a press release on Monday, and the PBGC released one today. The PBGC's press release, just for all of you to know, I posted it to the website. So you can look at it for yourself right up there as to what their press release was. But I am happy to announce to everybody that the summary of it all is that the PBGC has determined that the plan is eligible for their coverage. They are taking it over. They have to put in what's called a trustee, and that will take somewhere between the next 30 to 60 days, maybe as much as 90. While they are in the process of taking over, I will remain in place to administer benefits and continue doing what I've been doing for the past 7.5 years with you. But ultimately, what's going to happen is that the plan will be assumed by the PBGC. And as you will see in their press release, I'll read it right to you, that retirees will, under the PBGC, retirees will continue to receive benefits without interruption, and future retirees can apply for benefits as soon as they are eligible. PBGC is working with the court-appointed receiver to execute a trusteeship agreement, at which PBGC will become responsible for the plan and will pay the pension benefits earned by the St. Joseph Pension Plan's current and future retirees up to the legal limits. In my press release, I indicated that we didn't get confirmation yet of 100%, but that I read the legal limits to be exactly that, because the legal limit is at this point 100%. If you guys recall, we elected to be covered under ERISA in 2019, specifically April, and our 5-year anniversary of our phase-in was April of 2024. And spending that 5-year period allowed us to be eligible up to the maximum coverage, which is 100% of the statutory amount, which I believe everybody other than I think 2 of you are below the statutory amount, which means you'll get 100%. Though the 2 that are slightly above, and I do mean slightly, we're talking a few $1,000s, their pension will be adjusted or their payment will be adjusted down to that. So that is, I guess we'd call that a grand slam home run in terms of this pension. Your pension, I'm happy to say, and I'm going to use these terms, has been saved. What we thought back in 2017 that we had 7 years and the money was going to run out, we were able, with Max's efforts and his team, and the things that I did and working with Mercer and Bank of America and GRS, we were able to keep this thing afloat for these past 7.5 years. We still have 45 million in the plan. And now PBGC is going to take over, and your pensions and your benefits are guaranteed. I'm happy to answer any questions. I do want to just quickly touch on, there was a story that ran in one of the news outlets, which made the statement that taxpayers will pay the tab. I want to clarify that is incorrect. The taxpayers will not be paying the tab. And I can direct you directly to the PBGC's own press release, where it says that this plan, the St. Joseph's plan, was a single employer plan. That's the plan that it was. And the single employer program is financed by insurance premiums, investment income, and assets and recoveries from failed single employer plans. No tax dollars. You guys, through me, have paid almost 10.2 million into the PBGC over the past 5 years for insurance premiums, for the benefit to be covered by this plan. That's where the money comes from to cover this plan, not from taxpayer dollars. If this were a special financial assistance for financially troubled multi-employer plan, then the PBGC does use in some instances taxpayer dollars for that. That is not you. You are a single employer plan. No taxpayer dollars will go towards payment of any of the benefits that you're going to be receiving. It comes from your own payments of insurance premiums, which I made over the past 5 years, their own investment income, and then other monies they collect from failed plans. So that was issue number one. I think that's it. That's the only thing I wanted to address from that news outlet, that story. I know that there was a story that did run in the newspaper. And I think WPRI is doing something to actually, WPRI is doing it as we speak. I think they're doing it their 5 o'clock broadcast. So now I will, with that news, by the way, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and whatever other holiday you want me to add into that, because although it's been 7.5 years, the announcement couldn't come at a better time. I will say, in my words, it is a gift for all of us, especially for you, because you are the ones who suffered through this. Any questions?
Yes.
Happy to answer any questions.
What's the,
Millions of people clicking place order on their Cyber Monday card.
The unidentified man.
Any questions?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
What's the time frame that they will be actually taking over the pension? I know it's gone through, but when will they actual take over?
So the effective date of what they call the termination, which triggers the start, was Saturday, November 30th. So as of Saturday, it's now going through the process. The process will take, I have to, as their press release indicates, I have to enter into what's called a trusteeship agreement with the PBGC. They sent that to me yesterday. I'm reviewing it now. I do have a few suggested changes that I'd like to make to it. But we have about 30 days to negotiate that document. I also spoke to the judge today because I do need to get court approval to sign that. So the judge said he is ready, willing, and able to have that hearing whenever we need to have it so it can get done. The process will take approximately, I'm going to say on the safe side, 60 to 90 days. Once the trusteeship agreement is in place, then I have to go through the process with the PBGC of transferring the assets to them, transferring all the records that I have to them, and anything else that they require in order to take over the plan. So while the transition is happening, it will be for you, it's business as usual with me. And then once the transition is complete, I and the PBGC will provide you notice, and they will be taking over the administration of your benefits from that point forward. So I would probably say you are looking at somewhere in the vicinity of January to February when they have fully assumed control of the plan.
I have another question.
Go ahead.
So when each of us has done our pension structure, we chose either to take 100% or if we were going to give survivor benefits at a certain percentage. There was different options. Will those options remain the same when it goes over to the PB?
Yes. So if you are currently receiving benefits, then the structure that you had put in place to start receiving your benefits will remain exactly the same. Those who have not yet either gotten to an age or elected to receive their benefits, when that time comes, you'll then go through that process with the PBGC. And it will be a very similar process. I can't sit here and tell you it's the same without the PBGC confirming that, but you will go through a similar process of making that election, having your benefits calculated, so on and so forth.
I have one more question.
Go right ahead.
So right now we get our money through Bank of America.
Yes.
Will that continue or will that bank change?
The PBGC has the ability to change the bank. What they typically do is for about, I'll call it about 6 months after they take over the plan, they continue to work with the benefits administrator, which is Bank of America, and the investment manager, which is Mercer, and they continue to work with them. They have the option to retain them or to swap them out for their own choice for investment management and benefits management. So that would be their decision, but at least for a period of approximately 6 months after they take over, it'll still be Bank of America that you're dealing with.
I have one more thing.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you very much for all you've done for us. I really appreciate it.
Thank
Good.
you for saying that. I sat down with Channel 12 today, and I told them that it's without the patience, but even more importantly, the trust that you all put in me and Max, this probably wouldn't have been able to be accomplished. So your patience, your trust and faith that we could get this done was a big part of the effort here. So thank you. Any other questions?
Steve,
Are you going to miss us?
Well, I hope I don't. I mean, I was going to ask Julie if we could set up these calls for every like 6 to 8 weeks, just continue on. I am going to miss all of you, but hopefully you all stay in touch. Somebody asked what I'm going to be doing now that this is over, if I'm going to have a new job to deal with. But this is a career. This is kind of like one of those ones where you drop the mic on it. This worked out well.
Steve, I have a question for you.
Go ahead, John.
Is there any other, is this a first for a bankrupt church plan to go to PBGC?
This is for a church plan, because keep in mind, this was originally designated as a church plan, although Judge Smith said that it wasn't as of 2014. But for a plan under these circumstances, which is an orphaned plan that was designated as a church plan, but actually was improperly designated, this is the first of its kind.
So you have a new career field.
I guess so. I guess I became a subject matter expert on this. It only took 7.5 years. Look at that.
Actually, we made history.
You did.
You know, because this was the biggest pension mess up in history of Rhode Island.
Yep.
So you can consider yourself famous.
When is the big party, Stephen?
Say that again, Carol.
When is the big party that you promised us?
I did not forget about that. I will talk with Julie about putting something together. Maybe
That'd
what
be
we'll do
great.
is we'll go back to where it all started. We'll go to the Roads on the Patuxent,
Yeah,
and
perfect.
we'll
Sounds
open up
good.
the bar and we'll have fun.
That
Sounds good to me.
Kathy wasn't shy about jumping in, saying that worked for her.
I told you that.
This needs a ride, however.
Yeah,
Well,
okay, Carol. You know where I live.
It's been quite the ride, Stephen.
It has
And,
been.
I do have a
And
question.
I cannot tell you how happy I am to be able to deliver this news to you,
we cannot
regardless
tell
of the
you.
time of year.
We
Um,
are
We're happy
very
too.
thankful. And really, you've saved our lives.
Yeah, we're so grateful for everything.
Yes.
But Steve, I don't know if everybody understands how difficult it is to set a precedent as you did. It took a hell of a lot of research and a lot of ingenuity to get there. And I think it was a wonderful, wonderful job.
Thank you very much, John. I appreciate that.
Obviously. Yeah.
Thank you for what you did for us, Stephen. You're
You're
a
Marilyn.
lifesaver.
And
It's
tell Max,
as I said to the reporter today from Channel 12, this isn't a victory for me. This is a victory for you. This was your pension.
I have
You-
a question. Are you able to hear me?
I am able to hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry, because I'm driving home from work. My question is, does this finalize everything with the Diocese of Providence?
Well, what has to, I guess the quick answer to that is yes. Although we have to, until we get the signed document with the PBGC, technically the settlement still has not been completed. But what this will do is signing this document with the PBGC will trigger the finalizing of the settlement with the diocese. And that settlement will be completed, and then the federal lawsuit will be dismissed.
Hi, I have
And
a
did
question.
did the diocese, oh, I'm sorry, just as a second part. So I did miss a couple of meetings in between. Did the Diocese of Providence end up funding any part
Yeah.
of
So
the?
Yep, the settlement, and when the settlement gets finalized, we'll receive the payment, which will obviously go to the PBGC.
Yes.
But the settlement was, the diocese will be paying $2.5 million.
Yes.
This all gets finalized, and that money will go to the PBGC to help, I guess I'll say, offset the costs of the benefits that the PBGC will be paying.
Yes.
I'm curious as to whether they'll issue a statement. You know, I know you can't answer that, but I'm wondering if they look at it as a win, you know? Just curious.
I can't speak for the diocese, but I know that when they entered into the settlement, the settlement was conditioned upon PBGC takeover, but more importantly, PBGC takeover at 100%. So I think it's safe to say that everybody is pleased with the result here, whether you're paying money in a settlement as the diocese is, or everybody on this call. Everybody's happy with the result because it means the end of this 7.5-year saga.
So
Right.
I have a question. I missed the first probably 6 minutes of this call. So I just wanted to confirm, so there'll be no decrease in anyone's benefits, is that correct? You're going to get the same benefits that we got as of now?
Yes.
As far as a monthly pay? Okay.
Yes, unless, yes, there's a statutory limit, but everybody but 2 people fall under that.
Okay.
So the 2 people that go above that statutory limit, and they only go above that statutory limit by a few $1,000s. So their pension, if they're receiving a pension right now, I don't know if those 2 individuals are actually receiving benefits. They would be reduced down to the maximum limit.
Okay. And also, do they take it over like indefinitely? Is there any time frame in how long they take over this pension?
They take over until the very last vested participant is paid.
Oh my God. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. What a nice Christmas present.
It certainly is.
Oh.
I cannot express how happy I am for all of you.
Oh, I know.
I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I know Julie's on the call, and I don't know if she's on mute, but I'm sure she echoes those sentiments.
So are you, does everyone involved, are they going to get an official notice? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people who have no idea that this is even going on.
Yeah, as we go through the transition process, PBGC, at some point, once they get to a point where they have enough information, they will, both they and I will be providing notification that going forward, you should be communicating with them, not me anymore.
Okay. Well, I also would like to thank you so much for everything that you did.
My pleasure. It really has been my pleasure. It's not often that a lawyer gets to make an impact like this. So
Such a good outcome. Oh.
I appreciate the opportunity to do it with all of you.
It was just a thing hanging over everyone's head for 7 years.
I know. I know.
And you
I have
knew
one more
Steve,
thing to say.
if a positive outcome didn't come, we know where you live. You had no
Marilyn,
choice.
if a positive outcome didn't come, I'd be moving.
Yes, you would. I'm sure you would. But
So
on a serious note,
Yeah.
thank you so much. You, Max's team,
Yeah.
the lawyers that represented the individual groups. I've already spoken with Arlene Violet. UNAP, the union that provided the meeting space and the transportation.
Yep.
I mean, everybody worked so well together. It was amazing. It
I
was really
couldn't agree
amazing.
more, Marilyn. Actually,
There was-
Arlene was the very first email that I got. I guess she got up early and read the Providence Journal and saw the notice in the paper because she was the very first email that I got.
Wow.
So. Yeah.
I still say, however, the diocese got away with murder.
Amen.
They
Amen.
got away with murder. There's no doubt about it.
0.5 in, yeah. And that's,
Anyway,
I would go to the church and have a budget.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
No.
John Gibbs.
Yeah.
So I just have one last thing to say. I have a
Sure.
98-year-old mother that's been asking me for 8 years, when are they gonna fund your pension? And I can finally tell her that it's been found.
That's right. That's right.
So I read the Go Local article, and I didn't realize that the pension had gone down to, I think it said 45 million.
Yeah.
So that probably would have been maybe another 4 years of the pension, correct? Because they're spending about, is it 12 million a year? I think I read at one point it was $1 million a month.
Yeah, it's about 11.5 million a year that gets paid to benefits.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, there's also investment income as well.
Oh, yeah.
There's both
Yeah.
the settlements from the lawsuit as well as the investment income.
Yeah.
That's a factor when you think about it. We started this with $87 million in 2017. Since 2017, we've paid out benefits of $85.5 million. And we paid PBGC benefits of $10.2 million.
87.
So if it weren't for the investments that we kind of moved around every few months and the settlements with the lawsuits, this plan would have run out of money months ago.
Yeah.
Instead,
Yeah.
we're sitting here today celebrating that PBGC is taking over, and we still have $45 million in the
Right.
plan to continue with benefits.
Yeah. And,
I think you should be interviewed by 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Max, really.
Good.
60 Minutes would do a 60-second story on me, Marilyn.
No. I'll call them and tell them that they
Okay.
need to do it.
All right.
Well, you could
So-
You know,
Is
it's
there
such
going to
a
be
story. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
a bad idea.
Yeah.
is there going to be a segment on Channel 12 tonight? You said you
Uh,
talked to Channel 12.
Yeah, they were running something at 5. I don't know if they're going to repeat it at 6 or at the 11 o'clock news, but they
Okay.
were definitely doing something at 5.
Okay.
It's on their website also,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
in case you miss it.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? I'm happy. This is a time where I'm happy to answer questions because I can give you answers. As you
Good
know, every
answers.
single meeting I've sat and I've said I might not be able to answer your question in full. But
Yes.
this one, these are all good answers to give now.
Hmm.
The one thing I will let you know is, because one person asked, not on this call, but one person did ask me it earlier today. Once the PBGC takes over, the receivership will continue on for a few months, because we have federal filing compliance issues that I have to continue through June of 2025. So don't take anything from the fact that once the PBGC takes over and you don't hear about the receivership closing, that means nothing other than I still have work to do in terms of doing filings for when I was in place.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Well, I hope this gives everybody a happy Merry Christmas
Mhm.
and a
Certainly
very happy
does.
New Year.
Absolutely.
2024 is ending on a good note.
Yeah. And the same to you.
Same
to you,
Yeah, same to you.
Thank you
so
very much.
much, Julie.
And we will continue to do this just until PBGC takes over. I'll continue to meet with you, even if it's just to say we're just going through the process, just so that you know nothing has derailed or anything like that.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Steve.
Thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome, Deb.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
You're welcome.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Happy holidays to everybody. Stay safe, be well, stay warm in this next week.
You as well.
You too.
Thanks.
Thank you.
you.